Okay, we're going to jump right into this tonight because tonight I am delighted to welcome someone that some of you here in Pasadena have met, have had a chance to work with. He has also been a member of the Altadena Town Council. His name is Keith Sarge Gibbs, and he comes from the South Bronx many years ago. He graduated from William Howard Taft High School in the Bronx. Go Bronx, of course I'm talking about New York. And after that, enlisted in the United States Marine Corps. He spent 13 years in the Marine Corps and then decided to go into the United States Army. Mr. Gibbs has served our country well, and we want to first of all salute him for his service to his country and now service to his community. And Sarge Gibbs, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, thank you.
Also joining us is Katie Reese Davies. She is working with Sarge on a project, and good evening, Kate. And we're delighted you're here with us too. We're going to be talking to Kate in just a minute about more of what is going on with this project. Let's just first talk about, if you will, Sarge, what Commit to Achieve, your project is. It is a youth boot camp, and maybe you can just share with us, what is a youth boot camp?
Well, our program is based on a military concept. We provide these youth with structure, discipline, and respect. Unlike other boot camps, you take a kid and you throw them away, and you pay thousands and thousands of dollars to get this kid some training, and then the kid comes back home, and now you don't even know your child because it was a disconnect. In our program, the kid stays at home. He's with us the first 3 Saturdays of the month from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The last Friday of the month, we're gone for the whole weekend. But see, we take it one step further. We introduce the parent to the parent project. So it's a 10-week program, 3 hours once a week that the parent has to get involved in. Then not only that, we also tax the parent with coming into our organization and donating at least 200 hours so they know the program inside and out. The kid knows the program inside and out. Our goal is to prevent that, mama, can I do this? Daddy say no, mama say yes. Now mama and the organization is on the same sheet of music. So now for the first time in this child's life, there is consistency because everybody's talking the same music.
Is this a boot camp for our young folks that have kind of drifted off track, i.e. have lost a sense of respect of themselves? Their grades have dropped in school, kind of like mom and dad have said, or grandma or Uncle George or whoever is in charge of guardianship of this child. They've said, I'm done. You're not doing the things that I've asked you to do. I can't get you to come home to do your homework. I can't get you to do chores, i.e. they have tuned out.
Exactly. The kids that we're getting in this program, 80% of them are sent by the courts, are mandated by the courts. Another percentage is part of their probation. We get some kids from LA, Inglewood, Glendale, Lancaster, Unified School Districts that says, hey, we'll send this kid to your program for 3 months. After 3 months, we want a progress report. If the kid is doing what you said he'll do, we'll bring him back into our school before we expel him. But some of these kids, our parents just throw their hands up and say, hey, I don't know what to do with my child. I need help. I lost my child. Most of these kids are fighting with their parents. When they fight with their parents, now they're ready to go out in the street because now they have a reason for leaving the home because I fought with my mom. So when they leave the home, are they going to school the next day? No, they're not. So who grabs them? The gang members grabs them. Now what are they doing? They're selling drugs and using drugs. After that, what are they doing? They're breaking into our house. Now where are they? They're incarcerated. We've lost that youth. We're losing this generation. We need to put a fix to where the problem is.
As a military man, where did you come to this realization? I was looking at your bio, but where did you come to this realization? You have a degree in computer information technology. You worked at JPL NASA. You worked at Lockheed Martin. You could have had one of those cush executive jobs, but you chose another way.
Well, you know, I worked for Deloitte, downtown Los Angeles, as a computer forensic specialist. And I could have moved up the ladder and done great things and, like you said, been comfortable. But the things that started happening in our community was the high schools, the black and brown, started fighting on campus. I kind of overlooked that, but when it trickled down to the middle school and then the elementary school kids who don't have a notion as to why they're fighting each other, but they're doing it because everybody else was doing it. And then it really took heart when that young lady, Ebony, got shot on the corner right there on Lincoln in Montana. Right. At that point, something needed to be done. And I needed to step out and make a difference in our community to help our society because we are losing these kids at an alarming rate.
This is a nonprofit 501c.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Elaborate a little bit on how you achieved that.
What happened was we've been in business now for 5 years. And for the first 3 years, we've been running the program, and we ran the program at John Muir High School. The program got its start, its grassroots right here in the community. And so as things started escalating and we became more popular, it was evident that we needed to be a nonprofit organization so that we can go out and seek those funds that the federal and state level was giving to help mandate these kids to get them on the straight and narrow, to make a difference in their lives. And so that's how we went 501c. But while we're on that topic, I'd like to let the parents know that there are a lot of other programs that call themselves maybe a boot camp or a growth camp or whatever camp they want to call themselves. It's important that these parents do several things, including with me. Ask that individual to do a live scan. Have them show you copies of their live scan. Ask them to show you their corporate documents, as well as their articles of incorporation and their 501c3 documents. Because you got a lot of these organizations running around here calling themselves a boot camp, dealing with kids, but don't have the credentials to do so. So parents need to do their just due and make sure that they're putting their child in something that's going to benefit their child, their family, and the community.
Now, you said something about live scan. What does that mean?
Live scan is through the Department of Justice. And the same things that the public schools also do. And so what our Sarge Community Base did was we contracted with the Department of Justice. I went through a thorough investigation so that I too can produce my own live scans. So every individual that comes and volunteers or work on my staff goes through a live scan. I get the report directly to my computer from the Department of Justice. If this person have a criminal record or is a pedophile or have done something with kids, they do not work in our organization because I want to give our kids the best possible footage and the best step that they can have in order to be successful in life.
We've got some pictures that I want to bring up on the screen, and if you look at the monitor, Nathan, if you'll just give us a little of the slideshow, and you can tell us what we're looking at.
Right now, we started our first boot camp again last month on the 29th, and those kids are getting ready for boot camp. That's drill weekend. We went to Pyramid Lake, 20 miles on the other side of Magic Mountain. There at Pyramid Lake, we provide a community service for the National Forest. So right now, that young man is working hand in hand with another individual to clean up the area in that park. What's surprising is when you go to these schools and you look on campus at lunchtime, you see the blacks in one area and you see the browns in another area, and everybody's divided. But in our organization, we make them work together. When you finish working this detail with this individual, you will know his name, how many brothers and sisters he got, what's his date of birth. You will know this person. So when you go back to school, you guys can hang out together and bring our community back together the way it's supposed to be and stop trying to divide each other.
I see parents in this, and that is another key, essential part of this, is that the parents have to be involved.
Parents have to be involved. We've had several parents that came to our program and said, hey, here's a check. I want to put my son in your boot camp. Call me when he's done. Well, it don't work like that. If the parent does not involve themselves in our program and go through the parent project, we will not put that child into our program because we are not the parent. We are a substitute. We are a guiding light. We are that railroad to help keep your caboose on track. That's our role. Your job is to be the parent. Our job is to facilitate and help you and support you in your endeavors to raise that child.
I want to go to a DVD clip that we have, Nathan. Let's go to the first clip that we set up, and then we'll go to the second one, if you would please. The first one is, yes, on the computer.
First one is at Camp Firestone.
Okay.
Down in Brea.
This is just a little roll-in that we have of you with some of the kids out on
in the field,
doing
field training.
Training.
Think of the boys and girls that you know that are dead right now, that got shot, that got stabbed, that's incarcerated for selling drugs. How did they get caught up? Because their parents gave up on them. Their parents threw their hands up and said, I quit. Your parents didn't. Your parents love you. Your parents wants to give you a second chance in life. That's why you're here. That's why you are here. Your parents didn't send you here to get punished. Your parents sent you here to get a different outlook on life. Your parents sent you here so that you will understand the pain, the suffering that you can go through if you do not apply yourself in education. I know a lot of you here personally that have Fs, 4 and 5 Fs. This is where you will live without a good education. How you slept out here is how you will sleep for the rest of your life without a good education. These MREs that you're eating will be a high-class meal.
All right. It's no cakewalk.
It's no cakewalk. It's hard. We hold these kids' feet to the fire. And what's unique about our program is we make school visits. We make surprise home visits. If a kid get in trouble while they're in our program, we make court appearances with those individuals. And so when a kid knows, after that first time I pop into a school, when I'm sitting in his classroom and he comes in tardy and his eyes get big because he thought he's seen a ghost, that'll be the first and last time he'll be tardy, because he'll never know when I'll be sitting in his classroom waiting for him to show up. These parents work. They're doing all that they can to make things happen, to put food on this table. The last thing they need to do is have to leave work, come and deal with a child, and then go back to work and lose that time. I'm here for that. I do this 7 days a week. This is all that I do. I got a passion for it. I enjoy doing it, and I love making a difference in the lives of these youth.
I'm delighted to have you on the program tonight, just to give our community just another perspective of somebody doing something for the community, bringing people together. It's about damn time.
Thank you, sir.
I want to move over to Kate Reeves-Davis.